And also, I hope you had a wonderful. It's no vacation. It's really there's no vacation in Judaism. Vacation is after 120 years. It's just a little bit rest from the intense learning. You get busy with other mitzvot, so you get energy back to continue learning more. All the way close to the summer, I'm sure some of you guys will go to yeshiva in the summer too. That's what I used to do as a kid. I never went to camp really. I was crazy. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't regret it, by the way. Learning is a good thing. At any rate, also, Pesach, we had like a public Seder, 50 people the first night, 30 the second night. And then for the people that are more on the secular side, we had like a party, matzah, cheese, and wine tasting. They have really nowhere to go in the secular world. They have nowhere to go on Pesach. You don't have bar mitzvahs. I mean, maybe you have. You have no weddings. All the restaurants are closed, basically. So what could they do? They're looking for a place to go to a party. So if you ever go to a kiruv program, that's one of the best times to make a party for them. They have nowhere to go. They're dying to go somewhere. Honestly, like 180 people showed up, Baruch Hashem, and there are two couples that are going on shidduchim now. From that I know of. And the funny thing is, you see, shidduchim is in God's hands. There was a girl that came on vacation from Florida, 31 years old. She met a guy from Sherman Oaks, and they started dating. He's going to Florida to continue. But I'm telling you, learning Torah is more important, to be honest. Don't let these things like, wow, great, When you learn Torah, you don't see the accomplishment maybe, but you accomplish a lot more than in all the kiruv, at least for that age. Anyways, guys, I just want to share something with you. This week's parsha is Tazria and Metzora, right? We all know Tazria and Metzora. The parsha talks about somebody getting leprosy or getting tzarat. The Medrash says there are 10 averos that a person could get tzarat from, but the most famous one that everybody knows is if somebody gossips, speaks Lashon Hara. So in times of the Beis Hamikdash, they used to get tzaras, right? Tzaras has two parts. There's the nega tzaras, that the skin has to turn white, and then there's the simane tzaras, that the hair turns white. Anyway, so the guy had to be totally excommunicated, right? He had to go out of the Jewish camp. Any other tumah, you don't go out of the Jewish camp, as you know. Somebody that touches a dead person cannot only go to the courtyard of the Beis Hamikdash, he can even walk on Hara. Somebody that has tumah that leaves the body cannot go on Hara, but it could be amongst the Jewish people at least. He doesn't go in solitude. But somebody that spoke Lashon Hara had to go to solitude, right? Simply because he separated the friendship between two people. So God says, go see how it feels. Go sit alone by yourself. That's reason number one. Reason number two, when he's there, he can't talk to anyone. So he's going to think, why am I in this situation? You can't talk to the wall, right? They say all the teachers have to go to the kotel before they teach. You know why? Why do the teachers have to go to kotel before they become teachers? Because they have to get used to talking to a wall. I'm just kidding. It's a very bad joke. When we teach, we don't talk to walls. We talk to human beings they receive Torah. But that was just a joke. Anyways, he has to be alone. He can't talk to a wall. So he will learn not to speak Lashon Hara. What I want to discuss, guys, just a couple things. Let's hopefully finish it within 7-8 minutes. The Chafetz Chaim proves from a few places that the reason why the Jews suffer in exile is because of the sin of Lashon Hara. Proof number one, everybody knows it. Which Gemara is it, guys? Gemara Yuma. Why was the second Beis Hamikdash destroyed? Jews were religious. Not like the first Beis Hamikdash that it did znus, adultery, idolatry, bloodshed. Second Beis Hamikdash, they were all Shomer Shabbos, all religious Jews. They all studied. So why did God destroy the Beis Hamikdash, although they had so many mitzvahs? Sinat Chinam, exactly. They hated each other for no reason. What does Chafetz Chaim add to that Gemara? It wasn't just a hatred in the heart. They actually spoke it out. So when the Gemara says Sinat Chinam, it really means Lashon Hara. And his reason is one of the logical reasons that he brings, besides the Gemara reasons. God would not punish the Jews so severely just for a hidden hatred in the heart. I'm not saying everybody agrees with him, but that's one of the major statements of Chafetz Chaim. Just hatred in the heart does not cause exile and killing of hundreds of thousands of Jews, close to 1 million. It must be because they spoke Lashon Hara. That's proof number one. Proof number two, he brings like 5-6 proofs. Proof number two is from the story of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? When Moshe sees the Egyptian hitting a Jew, he kills the Egyptian, right? Says God's name and the Egyptian dies. Next day he sees 2 Jews are fighting. And he tells one, you wicked one, why are you hitting your friend? Why do you want to hit your friend? What does one Jew answer? What, you want to kill me like the Egyptian? I'm going to tell Pharaoh. That's what the Midrash says. He threatened him. So then Moshe says, you know what? My gosh, I know the hadavar. The thing is known to me. The thing is known. So simply it means nobody is going to find out that I killed the Egyptian. But Rashi brings a Midrash that it says it's known to me why Jews deserve to suffer in exile. They deserve to be slaves. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, all my life I studied. He was like 18 years old, 20 years old. There's an argument how old he was at that time. So he says, why are the Jews suffering more than any other nation? Any sin that you find other nations do worse. And he says, now I know, because there is Lashon Hara amongst them. And remember, guys, we say Jews are internally connected. Non-Jews are not connected. They just unite for a goal. But Jews' souls are really connected. That's why Lashon Hara damages them a lot more. So these are the two proofs of Chavetz Chaim, from the Gemara and from the Midrash, that if we speak Lashon Hara, that not only that we go to exile, but God forbid, that might bring accusation that we deserve to suffer in exile. Chavetz Chaim himself asks, why is it so bad to speak Lashon Hara? What did I do? Not, I just said, I heard something. And sometimes doesn't do anything because the other guy never heard it. Right? If I said Lashon Hara, let's put it on the videos or whatever we put on the internet, the guy might lose a job. Right? But if I'm going to say, this guy went and ate non-kosher, what was so bad? Nothing happened to him. He's non-kosher anyways. So why is Lashon Hara so bad? Chavetz Chaim brings 3 reasons. Please, guys, review that, write it down. It's at the beginning of Shmiras Lashon. Chavetz Chaim writes down, basically, when a Jew does an Aveira, there is no punishment, I'm saying between him and God, until there is a court case above. It's exactly like democracy here. The reason why there's democracy here, because God does it in a democratic way. When we do a sin, there's no punishment between us and God until Rosh Hashanah comes. And then you have all the malachim from your good deeds. They come and defend you. And then all the malachim from our Aveiros come and they want to accuse us. So then if the Jews don't speak Lashon Hara against each other, right? So when the Satan is about to open up his mouth, God says, I don't want to hear you, because I judge the Jews the way they act towards each other. That nobody accuses another Jew. Nobody wants to hear the accusation of another Jew, so I don't want to hear the Satan at all. According to the Chavetz Chaim, if Jews don't speak Lashon Hara, any Aveira basically, which is between them and God, will go unpunished. Because the Satan has no permission to accuse them. But the moment we accuse somebody else with our words, or even if I don't accuse them with my words, but I'm willing to listen, the accusation of another Jew, so that completely opens up the mouth of the Satan to such an extent that the Chavetz Chaim writes and it could even kill innocent people on the other side of the world. They become the korbanos, they become the sacrifices of Lashon Hara. He brings it from Zohar. So this is reason number 1 why we suffer more than, adultery, God forbid, more than Chilul Shabbos, God forbid. Chilul Shabbos, the punishment is death. Somebody speaks Lashon Hara, the Beis Din can't even punish you because you're not doing any act, right? There's no even whipping unless you do a maisi, you do an action. Talking is not considered to be action here. So there's no even court punishment, but it actually opens up the mouth of the Satan. I was a witness to this myself. I had one of, guys that was younger than me by 2 years. He was 17 years old. I was 19. So during the camp time, in the summer, between the 9 days, he was in a van, and the van flipped over. There was an accident. Everybody survived. This guy died. He was a very, very good kid. Very, chassidish, very frum, very religious kid. So at that time, the Lubavitcher Rebbe that Shabbos spoke, and he said he does not deserve to die. It only happened because there is sinas chinam in the community. And when there's sinas chinam, the first person that becomes a sacrifice is an innocent person. I never knew what his makor was, but when I saw the Chavetz Chaim, the source is in Shmiras Lashon in the beginning. He quotes a statement from the Zohar that when we speak Lashon Hara, it hurts somebody on the other side of the world, and it's an innocent person possibly. So the Rebbe said the first korban is going to be innocent person. So that's the first reason of Chavetz Chaim. Reason number 2, Chavetz Chaim says, whenever there is trouble, prayers deter and they get rid of all the punishments. But when is that? That's only when our mouth is not contaminated. The power of speech is pure. If somebody uses nivul peh, bad words, or he speaks Lashon Hara, so then the power of speech is contaminated. So when we say divrei Torah, those evil, whatever forces that are created from our power of speech, they grab the words of the Torah. That's his language. They grab it. They grab the words of tefillah, so they don't get a chance to go to heaven. Any other Aveira doesn't affect my power of speech. I could do a sin before I get punished, I pray, God forgives me, because my prayers go up to God when I really regret it. But the moment that I speak Lashon Hara, the prayers don't go up. Always remember Rabbi Kesson speaking. He was like making it very, very practical. You could learn Daf Yomi every day. You could learn Torah, and I'm saying so many hours a day. But if somebody is contaminated by Lashon Hara, his Divrei Torah don't go to Shamayim. Rabbi Kesson said it in his words. You guys know Rabbi Kesson, right? He's from Baltimore, very famous rabbi, big Talmid Chacham. The third reason that Chafetz Chaim brings, and we finished after this, is that every Avera, even if it's small, if it's done hundreds of times, then it becomes huge, like a string. If you give you one thread, easy to rip. But if you're going to twist 100 threads with each other, then it's a big rope. It's not easy to rip it. So if you do one small sin hundreds of times, it becomes huge. Lashon Hara, which is a big sin, as we just read the two reasons, that it contaminates our power of speech or gives power to the Satan, more than any other sin is repeated every day. Somebody doesn't keep kosher. How many times does he eat non-kosher food? 3 times maximum. Half of the food is kosher anyways. Almost half of the meals here are they're kosher. I'm not saying chalav Yisrael, they're kosher. Any tuna you buy, they're basically almost kosher. Most of the breads are kosher. The only time that a guy really eats non-kosher food, if he, meat, chicken, or seafood, that's it. But basically everything is kosher. If somebody doesn't keep Shabbos, it's a very big mitzvah. God forbid if he doesn't keep Shabbos, it's once a week. Someone that doesn't keep Yom Kippur is once a year. But the Chafetz Chaim says Lashon Hara happens 10, 15 times a day when we talk about other people. So it's a big sin, and the effect is a lot. Anyways, guys, we're going to encourage ourselves. Just remember, we talk about the negative of Lashon Hara, but the positive side is, would you like to hear something bad about your brother? Why not? Maybe he's a bad guy. Because he's your brother. You got to remember, I didn't mean to pick on you. Every Jew is your brother. Every Jew is your sister. If you believe that every Jew is your brother, your sister, more, according to the Arizal, every Jew is a little spiritual limb of one big body. More than that, Rav Chaim Vital say, inside you there's a neshama of every other Jew. I don't want to hear bad about myself. So if you know that every Jew is our brother, sister, part of us, we will not want to hear Lashon Hara. If somebody comes to speak Lashon Hara, you tell him, listen, can I help you about that? Can I do anything? I don't really think it's beneficial for both of us to speak and hear Lashon Hara. Don't bash at him, but tell him in a very nice way. And Bezrat Hashem, Chafetz Chaim says you don't need the entire Jewish nation to stop speaking Lashon Hara. Even if one community stops speaking Lashon Hara, for the merit of one community, Mashiach will come. Chafetz Chaim says it openly.